Hi everyone, my name is Omraj, and we are back with another tutorial for CRED. So in today's lecture, we are actually going to build a CRED clone, and that clone is going to be very interesting because we haven't made some sort of thing like this. Because CRED have a very interesting scroll effect that we are going to build today with a very basic understanding of JavaScript. So today we are going to see everything from the scratch, and CRED have a very amazing top-notch industry standard application, and we are going to clone that. So we are going to see everything from the scratch, and we are looking into what exactly we are going to build, right? So first of all, I will show you what exactly how exactly CRED looks like, and what are the expectations that you might have after this lecture that you are going to build. So let's have a close look over there, right? So this is the real CRED app, right? It's a beautiful application, and crafted very well. The architecture is super amazing. So best engineering practices that you can find. So it have this heading section. Then this have this phone section that there you can see the interface of that particular application. So after that you have this section. One of the most interesting section of this is this particular sliding effect. So this is one of the most premium feature of this application, that is this scroll effect, right? So you can see how beautifully it is crafted, right? So we are going to create this in our own application, and we haven't created something like this, right? The images are automatically changing. That fade effect is like super amazing, like beautiful. So we are going to create the same application on our own. So you will see like how similar this application looks. This is our own application that you can expect after this whole lecture, right? So if you scroll down, so you will see you are getting the same pictures. So this is from the CRED only. So all of these things are going to be very similar. And then you after that you have this kind of scroll effect for like it is wiping out, right? This hidden feature, right? Then you have this automatically sliding. Then this text is sliding over, fading effects. So all of these things we are actually going to build today, right? So this is what you are going to expect after this particular lecture, and you are actually going to enjoy the lecture definitely. This is going to be very interesting and exciting, so you are definitely going to love it, right? So yeah, that's pretty much a basic introduction about what exactly we are going to build, right? Few sections that are not required that much, but we are going to focus into this much of application within 2 hours, and you're going to build this parallelly with the class, right? So this is what we are going to build today. So let's have a quick introduction what exactly we are going to start up with. So we are going to make a CRED clone, right? So if you want to know more about me, so hi, I am Omraj Sharma. I'm a software engineer at Wheels. I've been working with AccioJob like from very long, and it's an amazing company to work with. And we had a like super great culture at here about learning. So we are actually learning a lot in tech. So we are actually empowering people in to get started with tech, right? So you can definitely check out AccioJob, like amazing platform, amazing people, great learning opportunities, great opportunities to be with. So that's pretty much about me, and I've been working from like past couple of years into the industry, so I'm loving my work, right? If you want to get connected with me, do check out these links below, my LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. I would love to connect with you, and if you're stuck in anywhere, feel free to reach out. Okay. So this is the course outline that what we are going to see. So in today's lecture, we are going to see HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript from the very basic, and we are also going to include all of these things inside this project, right? All of these things, some of the things you might feel very new. That's where your learning starts, right? So that's something makes this particular whole lecture very exciting. We are actually doing something, not just something, very much a lot outside this particular lecture, right? We are not just doing simple HTML CSS. We are actually going to load a lot of transition effects and particular engineering. So all of those things in this particular lecture only. After that, when we done with the project, then we are going to make it live on GitHub, right? So that you can share your project with other people as well. You can share that in your resume. This will definitely shine your resume a lot because it have like so much of a great engineering thing that you are going to build, and that scrolling effect is like fabulous. So we are going to build that. After that, what are the tools that are required? Definitely, if you have checked out our previous lectures, that's where you have encountered these kind of similar tools. You can watch our previous lectures as well. We have our lectures starting from Zomato. We done our Amazon. We done our Flipkart. We also have our Tinder clone. So this is the fifth lecture that we are going to have, and very simple way we are actually learn all of these things. So you can check out those videos as well. And we have other projects with other technologies as well. Do check out the AccioJob YouTube channel, right? For this particular place, you want these three particular tools to get started for creating a CRED clone, right? The first is a basic laptop or a computer. Then second is a browser, a modern browser that you require, like Chrome, Edge, Firefox, or any of the modern browser. The third thing is a VS Code, right? So all of these things, I think you probably have that. Otherwise, I think your learning will hamper, but definitely you can learn a lot after watching this lecture, right? So this is pretty much about the tools. Now let's understand what exactly these HTML, CSS, and JavaScript means. So let's take an example that HTML, CSS, and JavaScript collectively forms a human, right? So to create a human, you have a lot of things. So we have something called as bones that gives us a structure. So the structural giving things is given to us by HTML, right? Then we have something called as our beauty, that is our hairs, our eyes, our clothing. So all of the beautiful thing or the styling thing that we have is coming from the CSS part, and the functional part of ourself, like brain, nervous system, muscles, all of the functional parts that we are having is actually coming from JavaScript, right? So all of this collectively makes a really amazing website that you are going to learn, right? So this is pretty much about what exactly you need to have before creating this particular CRED code, right? So we are going to make it from the scratch, very scratch, and you are going to learn all of these things, what exactly we are going to make. All of these things you can follow the tutorial along with me. You are definitely going to make the exact same clone for CRED, right? Also, the resources of basically what are the pictures that we are going to use, what are the images, what are the favicons, logo, all of these things I have curated for you in one single link that is a GitHub link. So you can check out this link. You will definitely find this link below, I think, inside the description of this particular lecture. That's where you will see the resources link. You can check out that link. You will find all of these links that are important for this particular application, right? So do check out that, and let's start with this particular lecture, right? So first of all, what I'm going to do, I am going to create a folder. Here I'm going to create a new folder for AccioJob uh, CRED clone, right? So we are going to make this a folder, and inside this folder we are going to put all of the folder resources, every single thing we are going to put inside this, right? Let me open my VS Code inside this particular folder. So if I go inside desktop and inside AccioJob CRED clone, I need to open my VS Code inside this, right? So here I have opened my VS Code, right? And this website is going to be very, very important for us, guys. This website. So please have a look at this particular website. All of the links are pretty much over here. So do check out this website, right? All the headers, logos, every single thing you will find over here. Correct. So let's start creating with the three files that we need in our application, right? So three files that we are going to have is, the first file is index.html. So this is the index.html file that we are going to have. Then we have the style.css file. Then we have script.js file. Correct. So all of these files we need for our application, right? Now inside this HTML file, we are going to have this basic layout, right? First of all, let's add all of these things. Let's add style, JavaScript, and rest of the things. Correct. So let's link the CSS file first. The style file is linked, right? And at the bottom of the body, we are going to link our script file. Correct. So here we are going to add the script file. Okay. So here we are going to add all of these things. Guys, if you have any questions, any kind of doubts, please do ask me in the chat below. You have that access to your chat box. So if you have any doubts, please ask your questions there, right? I would love to answer a question if it is possible in the time span that we are having, and any kind of suggestions you want to give, any kind of queries you are having, please do let me know in the chat, right? And if you want to discuss anything, you can reach out to me any point of time, right? But yeah, first of all, please watch this whole lecture. Definitely you are going to make the similar CRED clone. Okay, so let's start building this application from the very top. So let's start with the title, right? So we are going to get the title of this application, right? So the title of this application is CRED Pay Your Credit Card Bills and ampersand and earn rewards, right? So this is the title that you are having for this particular application, right? Let me open this application inside my browser. So live server, I'm going to open this inside my live server, and you will see you are getting a title at the top, correct? Pay, credit, and bills on by reports, right? So all of these things are particularly over here. Now let me add a fav icon, right? So let me add the fav icon. If I'm going to add a fav icon, link uh, CSS, and over not CSS, it should be fav icon, link fav icon, and inside this fav icon, if you go inside this resources section, and if you take this fav icon from here, right, here is the CRED fav icon, right? So this is the original CRED fav icon that you can use. So paste it over here, right? So you will see that your application have the same CRED icon, right? So this is how we have added the exact similar thing that CRED have, right? Okay. So this is pretty much about the header part, right? Let's start building from the first section, right? So we are going to start with our first section, right? But before adding anything inside the first section, let me add few things inside the styles, right? So that there are generally the global styling you are going to add, right? So let's see what exactly you need to add over here. Correct. So the first thing that you need to add is basically you need to import this font family. So this font family you need to import, because this is the font family that similarly CRED use, right? So here we are using Roboto, and CRED use something else, but it is very much similar to the CRED's font family, right? Then we want to add some of the global styling. So the first styling that we want is margin to 0. Then we want padding to 0. So we want these two things. Then we want then we want to give styling to body. So the first thing that we want to give to the body is background color, and the background color should be F0, F0, F0. Okay. So it should be 0F, 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 0F. The font family we want is Roboto, sans serif, and color of the font we want is white. So these are the general and the common styling that we want for our application, right? So that it will look like correct, because it's a black application, like it have like dark background. So that's where we are having these kind of background, and the color should be white, right? So these are the things that we have. Let's start building from the first section. So let me comment over here. Let me write over here section 1, right? So let's start building with the section 1. So first of all, we are going to have the section, and here I'm going to add a class of section 1. And guys, you will find me using a lot of shortcuts for VS Code. So if you want to ask any of these things, please ask me, right? So there are like hundreds of things that VS Code provides you. Shortcuts are so many, so you can check out them as well, right? So basically, Aridhaman, ampersand is for and symbol, right? So here you can see you are having that and symbol before earn. So that is coming from this ampersand, right? So here, this is how we actually use it. Correct. So this is the section 1 that we have created. Inside section 1, we are going to add one division, that is section 1 header, right? This is for section 1 header. So inside section 1 header, what we are going to have is inside section 1 header, we are going to have the section 1 header logo. Correct. So we are going to have this thing, and inside this logo, what you need to do, you have to bring this image. So again, if you go back to your resources, right, you will see that there is a logo link is there, right? So this is the logo link for your particular this application, right? This is the logo of CRED, right? You can enter the alternate value for this as well, but I'm keeping it simple, so I'm not adding it, right? So this is pretty much about this particular header section, right? And inside this, if we add another div for section 1 header, option, right? So inside this, we are going to have the options. What are those options? So we are actually talking about this thing, right? So this is the CRED logo, and we are going to talk about these two options, right? So we are going to add them as well, right? So the first thing is we are going to add like credit score check, right? Second thing that we want is for CRED pay, right? These two things we actually want, and you will see that your application is not going to look very good as of now, but with time we are actually going to give it a style. Whole lot of things we are going to give, so don't worry. Okay, so these are the things. This is the header section of this section one is done, right? Now what we want is, after this, we want the section, we want a division with section 1 main, right? So this is the main section of our application, right? So this is section 1 main section, correct? Inside this main section, what we are going to have is section 1 main one, right? This is going to be the main one section. So here we are writing rewards for paying your credit card bills, right? So this is something that CRED also have, right? CRED also have the same thing written like this, correct? So we have also the same thing. Okay, so now what we have is section 1 main 2, correct? And inside this we are going to have join 9 million plus members who win rewards and cashbacks. You can write anything if you want to create your own, but I'm exactly copying the same website, right? So that's why we are going to use everything same. Correct. These are the things that we have for our own purpose. So web applications are suitable for phones as well. There are a lot of other methodologies, guys. There's some one question that web applications are good for phones or not. So actually, web applications are so much good for phones also, right? Um, with the help of web applications, you have something called as PWA, right? With the help of that, you can install your application inside your phone and run it locally. There are other ways as well, like React Native and other ways through which you can create a web application that can be run in both the places. So web applications are very versatile. Okay, so this is pretty much that we want, right? Then we have this division, and this have section 1 main 3, right? So we have section 1 main 3, and inside this section main 3 we have something called as button. Button says download CRED, correct? So we have this thing. So our first section is ready with the main content, right? Our content is done. Now we have to style it, right? As of now, it is not looking like this, but we are going to make it look like this, right? So in just few seconds, we are going to look like that. Okay. So let's come on to the style section, and we are going to give it some styling, right? So let's start giving it styling. So here we are going to style, first of all, section 1. So we are going to style section 1. So here I'm writing the minimum width. Minimum width should be 1040 pixel, right? Then we want the margin to be auto. Then we want margin top to be 60 pixel, and then margin bottom to 200 pixel. So all of these things will style your application look like this, right? Okay, so it feels like this. Minimum width you have given. So you have given minimum width, margin to be auto, margin top to be this, and margin bottom like this, right? So your application looks like this. So if I open my terminal over here, my console, and if you see, Okay, right. And where is the section 1? Here is the section 1, right? And how exactly it looks? It looks something like this, correct? Okay, all right. So here it should be max width. So that's why it is coming in the center, right? So we have given the max width. So at max, its width should be 1040 pixel, right? So this is what for section 1, right? Now we have to give styling to section 1 header, right? So we are going to give its some maximum height of 66 pixel. Then we want to give it a display to be flex. Then we want to justify content to be space between, correct? This is pretty much about the header part. So you can see this is pretty much that we are getting our logo on the left and these two items on the right side, right? So now we are going to style that. So let's style it. So this is section 1. This is section 1 header logo. So inside this section, you have this logo section. We are going to style that. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to have this logo section. Let's style this logo section as well. So its height should be 100%. So its height is 100%. And now we are going to style this image. Image also need to be 100%, right? Okay. So this is pretty much about this particular section. Let's see, like your image is working fine. Okay, so your image is working fine. If you remove this, okay, so now your image is looking fine, right? So you have styled your section 1 logo image, right? So that's why it is having this much of size. It feels very much similar to the CRED logo size. Okay, so this is the exact lengths and widths that I get from their main application. So I get all of these links, all of these lengths, all the things are measured very closely from these places, right? So that is why I'm using all of these values, right? So all of these values I got from their official website, and I kind of debug their website and re-engineer what exactly they have used, and exactly using the same thing, right? That's why we are using specific values like max height to be 66 pixel, 1040 pixel for max width. So all of these values I'm getting from their main website that they're using, so that it will look exactly like same, right? That's why we are having these kind of fixed values. So it is not hard and fast. It is actually taken from their official website. Okay. Now we just need to give some styling to options part, header, options, right? So we need to give them a display text and align item center, right? And now inside this section 1 header, we have this option and the division, right? We need to style these divisions. So these division have an opacity of 0.8, right? And font size, their font size should be 18 pixel, right? Then line height. So all of these values are from their own website, right? 36 pixel. Then font size. Then this is line height. This is white space, no wrap, and margin to be 20 pixel, 0 and 36 pixel, right? So these are the options that are on the right hand side of the logo we are actually editing, right? So you can see that this is how they are looking. We have given them the display flex and align item center so that it will align vertically and they are on the same line, correct? So that's what we have given. After that, we have styled the font sizes, line height, we have given the opacity, all the margins we have given so that it looks exactly like red website, right? So this is what we have did with the section 1 header section, right? Now let's quickly give the styling to this particular section, right? So let's give it some styling. So the headers part of the section 1 is done. Now we need to give the styling to the main part, right? So the main part is this reward for paying your credit. This thing we want to make it enlarged, right? So let's see how we can do it, right? So the class that we are using over there is section 1. Section 1 main we are using there. So here we want text aligned to be center. So all the text will come in the center, right? Now what we want is after this we want that section 1 main and first section should have a margin top of 100 pixel, correct? This is the margin top of 100 pixel. Now we want a font size of 106 pixel, right? So you will see that now its font get bigger, right? This is the height that we want. This is the font size that we actually wanted, right? Now we want the line height of 125 pixel, 125 pixel, right? And now what you want is letter spacing. You want is of -3 pixel, correct? And font weight. You will see that currently it is kind of looking like that, but still you want some sort of width, right? You want some sort of boldness, right? That's what we are going to get it now with the 700 boldness, right? So you will see that you are kind of getting the exact same thing, right? It is very much closer in size, right? So that's where we are actually going to exactly make the same application with step-by-step development, right? I hope you're learning something new, and the new way of creating an application, because CRED application is like way much different, right? So that's where we are actually creating something new apart from the previous website that we have created. All of those are full of learning. This is a separate, you can say, a dish that you are actually consuming right now. So it's a very interesting application. You are going to learn a lot of things, lot of effects that we are going to make, right? Okay. Now let's style this, the second section of this particular part. So section 1 of second part. So now we are actually going to style this join 9 million members, correct? Now we are going to style that. So first of all, we are going to have this font size of 80 or 30 pixel, right? So we are going to have the style of 30 pixel. Then we are going to have this letter spacing of minus 0.2 pixel. That is even not required, but yeah, let's have it. And then we have the line height of 38 pixel. Then we have margin top of 35 pixel. Then we have font weight. This font weight should be of 700. And you will see that this section is also highlighted, and this is very much resembling this particular second part, right? So this is how we are actually building step by step all of these things, and it is very much closer in development like a CRED website, right? So it is not that hard. We're actually going to build very much similar website, and if you try to code it, you can easily code it in 1.5 hour, because I'm explaining you this. That's why it is kind of taking time. But if you just watch this lecture at 1.5x or 1.25, definitely you're going to build this whole website in around like 1 to 2 hours, right? Definitely. And also guys, if you are actually interested in making these kind of projects, definitely you can check out AccioJob. We are actually having a lot of these kind of projects, like all of the website clones. We are actually have so many amazing projects going on, and we actually do all of these things in our real classes on day-to-day basis. So if you're interested, if you want to learn something new in tech, definitely check out the AccioJob website. There you will find a lot of good things about what exactly we are doing, and how you can enroll. Definitely there is a lot of learning we are having. And as a mentor over there, like I got this learning, like I got this chance to build all of these kind of great applications. So you can definitely check out. And if you are stuck in anywhere, yeah, if you are having any kind of doubt, do feel free to reach out to me on any of my social handles, right? And also, if you have any kind of query related to AccioJob, or any query related to this particular project, do connect to the AccioJob team. Definitely, they are so much supportive. They can definitely help you a lot. Okay. Also guys, you are going to get the certificates for this particular project. So do fill the form by end of like half an hour. You are going to get the form in the description below. So come fill that form and you are going to get the certificate as well. Also share that certificate in with your resume and with other peers on LinkedIn, Twitter, and other platforms, and do tag me and AccioJob. Okay. So that's a very basic understanding what exactly you're going to build and what you are going to get after this particular lecture. Okay. Now we are going to style this particular download CRED button, right? So let's start with that, right? So section 3 main, and we are going to style this. Guys, you are going to get the form by end of the lecture within like half an hour. So that's where you are going to get the form. After that, you can fill the form by today itself, and you will get the certificate from AccioJob. Okay. Now let's style this. Section 3, margin top, and margin top should be 58 pixels, right? So margin top should be 58 pixels, and now we are going to style this. Section 3 main button, we are going to style this button, right? First of all, we are going to give it some padding. So basically this button looks like this very simple button, right? But we want to make it like this huge button, right? So that's what we are going to make, right? So let's have that button. First of all, we are going to add some padding. So first padding we are going to have is of 20 pixel, 55 pixel, right? Then we are going to have this font size. Then font size should be 24 pixel. Font weight should be 700. Then we want the background color of not like this. We want a background color of white, right? We are going to have this background color of white. Then the color background color is white. Border should be none. Then border radius you want is 40 pixel. Then cursor we want is pointer. So you can have a look in our application that your button is exactly looking like same, like this button, right? It is exactly same because we are actually using the exact same styling, and this is your own application. You can see this is your own application, right? And we are exactly making it like the same, right? So all of these things are here, and we are building them. Okay guys, if you are stuck anywhere, if you are having some doubts, please do check, let me know in the chats. Your chats are open, so please do share there. Okay, I'm constantly watching them, and if some of the doubts if can be covered while creating the application, I'm taking them as well. Okay, so this is pretty much about the section 1. Now let's start building the section 2. That is going to be very, very interesting, right? So let's start building section 2. Section 2 is this particular place where you have all of these phone screens, right? So we are going to make this. So let's come back to the index file. So here, this is the first section 1. After section 1, we are going to have the section 2, right? And this is the section 2. Let's add the section 2 over here, right? This is the section 2. Inside the section 2, what we are going to have is we are going to have this one div that says section 2 container, right? So it's a very simple section. You just have images. You just have to align those images in a right way, right? So we are going to do that. Okay, so let's have a close look, because the alignment is very different, because you have something at the center, then you have something at the left, then left. So the alignment is very much different. One image in the center, one in the left, then below, one next, another in the left, then below. So there is one interesting thing that you're going to learn. So have a close look over here. Okay, so this is pretty much the container. Okay, this is the container that you are having, and inside this you are going to have images, correct? So these images, as you know, I have already prepared all of these resources for you so that you don't need to hamper, because same thing you are also going to get, same thing I am also going to get. So I curated them for you so that your learning process is way much simpler and easier, right? So you just need to take these images and just plug in there. Okay, so all of these images are here. Okay, so this is the first image that you're having. Also guys, here we are going to add some of the styling as well, so have a close look over here. First of all, let me bring all of those images, then I will show you what exactly styling you are going to have. Okay, this is the first image that you are having. The second image that you are going to have is this. So I'm kept all of these images in the sequential order. Okay, so you don't need to worry. This is that image. Then we have another image, this particular image. Then we have another image like this. Then we have another image like that. All of these 5 images have came over here. So you will see that your images are here, right? But not in the same order that you want it, right? You want it that in a that sequential order. So we are going to make it like that. Okay, so let's have a close look how exactly we are going to make it. Okay, so first of all, we are going to give some styling over here. So we are going to give some styling. So here I'm going to use some of the styling part. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, at all of these places I'm going to give some styling, and inside the styling we want some sort of transform, right? Transform and transform to be translate, correct? So we want this kind of styling, and after this we also want z index of 100. Correct. We want the z index of 100. As of now, you will not see any kind of difference happen because you just have entered these kind of transforms. Correct. But here we are going to add some values so that all of these values should looks like in that particular order, right? So we are going to start with the first one from the center, right? So the first one in the center will be going to have. So let's start it from that very top, right? So the first one at the top is going to have the styling of minus 110%, right? 110%, and so this is the transform. This is the styling that we are having, and this is the transform that we have, and transform and translate. Okay, so minus 100%, and then we have 20% of from top, right? 20% from the top. Okay, and the z index of this should be 98. Like, it might feels very new, guys. So you can check out all of these things, like what are z indexes, what is transform, all of these things you can check out what exactly these things are, right? If you feel like it's very new, and if you're interested in learning, I think you are at the right place to learn. You can watch our previous lectures as well. At AccioJob, we have taken a lot of these lectures in our previous classes, so you can check out these lectures to understand all of these things from the very basics, and you can check out AccioJob as well. So this is the z index that we are having, and on general basis we generally make these kind of projects, and these are very interesting and insightful. So definitely you as a guys learn a lot. So this is minus 100%, 20 pixels. Then we have minus 55 pixel, minus 55%, and 10% from the top, right? So this is about it, and the z index that it is having is 99. Okay, 99. Then here we are having the z index of 100, so it does not have any translate. So this is pretty much about it. The same z index we want over here, 55% and 10%, 10%, like this. Here we are using negative values, here we are using positive values, right? The same of opposite we are going to use. So this is minus, this is should be plus 110%, and this should be 20%. Right. So if you give these kind of values, so you will see that currently it is not looking very good. But if we give some styling to this, you will see it is kind of magically working like the same way, right? So we are going to see that. Okay. So currently we have added this section too, and it's kind of not looking exactly same what we wanted. But in few seconds, when we give it some styling, proper styling, that's where you will see the magic. Okay. So if you use these kind of transforms over here, you will see it is going to work exactly the same way that you want it. Right? Here we don't want this transform. That's why I'm removing it. Okay. So these are the styling that is required for this particular section. And if you jump back to your CSS part, so you will see that when we give it some styling, you will see it is automatically being fixed. Correct. So first of all, we are going to give some styling to section 2. So first thing that we want to give it like height of 800 pixels. Right. Then we give it some position to be relative, and overflow flow to be hidden, right? Then what we want is then inside section 2 container, correct? We want to give some styling to the images, correct? So currently you can have a look at over here that your section is this much only, right? The rest of the things are hidden, right? Now what we are going to have is we are going to add some styling, like we are going to add some styling like position to be absolute, right? No, Arun, we cannot give any value to the z index. It have like the maximum value is towards the person, right? And the minimum value is toward the screen. So if you want something at front, you give it like maximum value. If you want something at the back, you want minimum value, right? That's where z index works. So we do not give any random value. We have set of values like you can give, but the point over here to see is like z index value should be more and below, so that you can see images next to each other, right? So that you can get that kind of effect that images are on top of each other, right? That's where you can use either 100, any of these value, 1 2 3 100,000. These values are valid, but values should be different, right? So z index, you can use this. And if you want to learn something more about z index, I think we have covered that in some of our lecture. So definitely I think we have discussed this, we generally discuss this a lot in normal classes. So it's a very interesting topic actually. Z indexes are super amazing. Then we want to give it some left to be calc to be 50% and minus 198 pixel. And then we want is top to be 6%. Okay. All right. So you can see over here that the image that you are having is kind of looking like same, but I think here we might have missed something. So that's why the z index is not behaving like that way. Yes. So you have to change these values as well. So you have to make it 99 and you have to make this 98 as well, right? So that all of these values should be at the back, right? So z indexes are very useful in these if you want to make images just next to each other, right? As you can see, if I've given this value a more value, right? If I give this to be 100, so you will see that this image will come forward, right? If I give it like less value than this picture, so it will get back of this, right? So you will see that this image is at the back now, and all of these images exactly look same like this CRED website. You will see like how close this is, right? How close this is looking. Like this is CRED and this is our own website, very much closer, right? So this is the whole beauty of this particular lecture, that you are actually exactly going to make the same website, and all the good practices we are going to see. And in our normal classes as well, we generally try to learn at the industry level skills and the way we actually write code in industry. So we actually learn that, and you are actually coding something that's a very amazing website. You are actually coding on your own. So that's the beauty of this particular place you are learning, right? So this is about the second section that we have just built very quickly. Like it just have very less code, right? But here we just learn something new, right? And inside this HTML CSS might feel very simple to a lot of people, but making these kind of applications is a bit challenge to a lot of people, right? So that's where we actually learn this from very scratch, and this is the beauty that we get over here, right? So this is our pretty much the second section that we just built. And guys, if you are new to any of these things, you can just all of these properties are just one click away. So you can definitely check out all of these things. And if you are stuck in anywhere, feel free to reach out to us at AccioJob. Okay. So this is pretty much about the section 2, and I think this is pretty much that we need to see over here. And if you have any doubts, questions, you can let me know in the chat. So I'm just looking into it. Yes, absolutely, this is basic order for displaying. Absolutely. So this is the second section that we have just completed right now. Now we are going to section 3, and that section 3 is going to be very interesting. So this section 3 is this particular like pink beautiful place, right? So we are going to quickly build that, because so this is going to be section 3, and here we are going to add this section 3, right? So this is the section 3 that we are having, correct? So this section 3 have this section 3, and then we have this div section 3 header. This is the section 3 header that we are having, and inside the section 3 header we have two headers, right? So div dot section 3 header 1, right? This is section 3 header 1. Similarly, we have section 3 header 2, right? Inside the section 3 header 1, so this is the section 3 header 1, this is section 3 header 2, right? So inside this place, what we are going to have is we are having this field special break tag more often, right? So this is exactly same thing we are getting from here, right? Currently it is not looking the same way, but we are going to make it look like that, right? So let's see how we are going to make it. This is section 1. After that, section 2 would be I will copy that from here because there are a lot of text, so just believe in having the same text. So this is for section 2, right? And then section, this is pretty much about section 3 header, correct? Now we have something called as section 3 main section, and inside this main section we are going to have this section 3 main 1, right? This is the section 3 main 1. So what is this section 3 main 1? This is the section 3 main 1, correct? So let's add that. This is the section 3 main 1 that have this kind of section, right? And after this, what we are going to have is we are going to have this section 3 main 2, right? So this is section 3 main 2, and inside this what we are going to have is we are going to add this explore rewards. Right. So you will see all of these content we have got over here, but it is not looking very good. But you know what, that we all have the styling for this, right? So we are going to add all of these things, correct? So let's see how we can add all of these things, correct? So first of all, we need to go back to our CSS, and let's see how exactly we need to build it. So if we go back, and after this place we have this section 3. So section 3 will look like this. First of all, the position to be relative we want, then we want padding. So we want padding of 240 pixel, 200 pixel, right? Then 180 pixel. So we want these kind of padding for our application. So you will see that your content is coming in the center, correct? So that's what is it is looking like this, right? It is something looking like this. Now let's style all of these things in a sequential way, right? So padding is there, color is also we want. So but we want a background image, right? We want a background image. So to get the background image, you know that all of the resources are over here in a sequential order, right? Not in a random order, in a sequential order. Whichever images that you require, you know, you have all of these sections defined and everything is here, correct? So if you want to get this image of that pink color, this image is already added just now. So you can see that your image is coming over here, correct? So that's what we have all the resources ready for you, right? Then we want the background size to be cover, and we want display to be flex. Then we want the flex direction, to be column. Then we also want the WebKit box tag accent justify, and you will see that your image is coming exactly the same way how exactly CRED is using, right? So like that's the whole beauty of this particular lecture. You are getting the exact same thing. Okay. So that's pretty much good, guys. Now we just need to style these sections step by step. Correct. So let's see. First thing that we need to style is section 3 header 1, right? So we need to style this section 3 header 1. So first of all, the font size that we want is 100 pixel. Then we want the letter spacing of minus 3.15 pixel. Then we want the opacity to be 0.9, right? And font weight to be 700. And you will see that it is exactly looking like the same way how exactly they are using it, right? So this is how we just have this same thing. Correct. This is pretty much about the section 1 heading 1. Let's have the section 1 heading 2. Correct. So what are the things they are using? What's the font size? Font size they are using is 32 pixel. Then the letter spacing they're using is of 0. minus 0.2 pixel. Correct. Then opacity. Then they're having the line height. They're having line height of 38 pixel. And max width of 700. Okay, so this is line height, and this is pretty much the line height. Then we want is max width of 630 pixel, font weight of 700, and margin top of 16 pixel, right? You will see that this is the CRED and this is the our, right? This is our application and this is CRED. You will see like how closer it is looking, right? It is way much closer to that CRED application. Correct. Now we just need to style this particular thing and we just need to create this button, right? So these two things are left and we are approximately done with the third section as well, right? So this is the third section that we are going to build, and then after that our main section of creating the that scroll effect is going to come, right? So that then we are going to see that. Okay. All right. So this is the section 2, section 3 header 2 is done. Now we want is section 3 main, right? Main one. Let's have the section 3 main one. Correct. So inside this we want the font size. Inside this we want the font size. The font size that they are using is of 18 pixel, right? So it is of 18 pixel. After that, they are using letter spacing of 0 pixel. Then line height they are using of 28 pixel. Then max width they are using is 630 pixel. Correct. So this is 630 pixel. Then font weight they are using is of 500. That's a little bold. Then margin top that they are using is 40 pixel. Right. So you will see that our application is way much similar to the CRED application, right? This section is also looking similar, right? Right. And margin top, we want the margin top of 16 pixel, header 2, and I think we just need to remove this margin over here. So let's see how we can remove it. Okay. So this is pretty much the margin that we are having. So this section should not have any of these 18 pixel, 0 pixel of this, 28 pixel of line height, then max width, font weight, and this. If I remove this line height, okay, and if I see this, like, is that is having any margins? Okay, so it is having margin top. So margin top, it should be margin bottom, right? It should be margin bottom. That's why they are having some gaps. Okay, so now it is coming together, right? That's exactly there inside the CRED app, but we want something like that, right? Okay, so it looks good. Now we just need to style this button, right? So let's style this button as well. So to style this button, we need to go inside the main section too, right? So that's going to be very interesting. So section 3, main 2, that is our button, correct? So we are going to style our button. So let's see how we can do it. Okay, so first of all that we want is, we want it to be display to be inline block, correct? This is inline block. Then we want the padding. The padding that we want is of 20 pixel and 65 pixel, right? Then we want the background color of white. Then we want the color of black. Then we want font size. Font size is of 24 pixel. Then letter spacing. So guys, you can also get the source codes for this particular application by end of the lecture. I will share the whole source code for with you, and you can get the source code at my GitHub account as well. So I will share that code over there by end of the class. I will share with you my account at GitHub so that you can get the code out of this particular lecture, right? So that you can build your own application. You will see how many things you have did correct, or how many things there is some mismatch. So you can check all of these things, correct? So by end of the class, I will share all these things with you about the code, the application, every single thing I'm going to share. Now we are going to have this letter spacing. So letter spacing we want is 0.4 pixel. Line height we want, line height is of like 30 pixel line height. Then border radius, the border radius of 40 pixel. Then cursor, so cursor is of pointer. And font weight, the font weight we are having is 700. And with this you will see that your button is ready now. It is exactly the same styling of the CRED. So we have made the button exactly same like this particular application, correct? Now guys, after this section, we are coming into our main section of this sliding, and that is the showstopper for our application, right? So making till now is a not a very complex thing. We have did it this already in the previous classes as well, but now the section that we are going to build is this particular section, and this kind of effect are currently going on in a like a very huge way, and it looks very intriguing as well. So we're going to make this application and this particular section, and that is going to be little challenging, little interesting, and a showstopper for your application, right? So you can put the whole application inside your resume as well, and it will definitely shine out in as compared to other peers that you're having. So definitely complete this whole project, and you're also going to get the certificate of it. Okay, so let's start building this particular section. This is the section 4 of our application. So we are done with these three applications, these three sections, and you will see like how beautiful your website is looking, right? It's have like amazing design, amazing looking, appealing, good. So it's an amazing application that you have just built, right? So now let's start with the section 4 that we are having. Okay, so let's start coding it. So inside, if we go inside our section 4, and we create our section 4 inside our HTML. So first of all, what you see is you need to create, I just need to give some sort of comments so that it will see that it's my section 4, right? Section, this is section 4 class I'm going to give, right? And let's see how exactly we are going to build. So basically the section 4 is divided into two parts, right? So section 4 over here is actually divided into two parts, right? So on the left hand side you have this text section, on the right hand side you have this image section, correct? So we are going to have these two sections. So we are going to name these two sections differently. So this is section 4 left, right? And this is section 4 right? Correct. So let's start with the left section, and what are the things that we want inside left section, correct? So inside left section, the first thing that we want is section 4 left content. So this class is going to be same for all of these, correct? So all of these left section have, actually we have 4 different sections, correct? This is first section on the left hand side, this is the second section, this is the third section, and this is the fourth section, right? So actually we built these kind of sections in a separated way. So in the left hand side we have 4 small sections or small components, correct? And all of these components are first of all hidden, then after one is visible, rest of them are hidden, then first got invisible, second got visible, right? So this is the way how we create these kind of applications, correct? First of all, we are going to have these 4 sections on the left hand side, correct? So this is the content one. After this, we have section 4 left 1, right? So we have these sections 1, 2, 3, and 4, correct? We have these 4 sections, second, third, and the fourth, third and fourth, correct? So we have the first section, second, third, and fourth at the left section, correct? So let's see what are the things that we are going to have over here. So inside this, first of all, we are going to have is div and section 4 left heading, correct? So this is the left heading that we are going to have. So left heading and division section 4 left left description, correct? This is the description that we are having. So the same thing we are going to have in all of these sections, right? You can try to understand this in such a way that the section 4 is divided into 2 parts. One is left, one is right. On the left hand side, we have 4 different small sections, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? And sequentially they are arranged, correct? So we have all of these things together. So I'm going to get all of the data, right? So first of all, I'm going to get this data. So I'm going to pick this heading. This is the heading for section 1 of left section of section 4. So inside this, you will see you are getting these things. And over here, I'm giving it a break tag, or not required as well. So you can keep it like this. And then you have the description, correct? So inside description, I'm going to get the description from here. So all of these things, you can get it from there as well. So that is not an issue, right? You can get all of these things directly from there, correct? So I'm going to use these things inside all of these sections. Yeah, I'm going to use them. The content is going to change, so not an issue. So this is pretty much for the first section. Then we have second section. Okay, or else you can do as well. You just as of now, you can just see like what exactly we are doing over here, and after that, you can try that on your own. That's the most interesting thing that you can do. Currently you are learning this, and after that you are going to see that how exactly this is building, correct? So this is the second part. Then we are going to see the third part of for your electric paste. So this is this particular thing, correct? And their description is here. So let's bring that in, correct? And I have taken all of these content from there, correct? So I have taken them all. And this is also here. Let me copy this. Okay. All right. So this looks good, guys. That how exactly it is structured, and also we are getting the code. So don't worry about that. That we are actually coding it a little fast because it's a kind of a boot camp. So here we actually learn a lot and do this after this as well. So that is not an issue. So you can put all your focus over here. What exactly we are doing? Try to understand that. By end of the class, we are going to get the code. So that is not an issue, right? So all of these things we are actually going to also going to get, right? Also guys, do share this on your social handles, also on LinkedIn as well, majorly, and also tag me and AccioJob that you have done this project and you also have get the certificate, right? You are going to get the certificate by another lecture, so stay tuned till the end. And all of these kind of projects we generally do in our AccioJob, when we are actually learning all of these site software engineering skills. So these kind of projects we generally do in AccioJob, and all of like these are very just a glimpse of the projects that we built. So we actually have like super amazing projects that we generally don't talk in public, but we have those with the students. So if you're interested, do check out AccioJob. And if you have any queries, do let me know by end of the class. I will try to solve that. And people at AccioJob is like super amazing. Do check out. You're going to get the certificate by end of the class, so don't forget to fill that, because you're going to get the certificate, right? And previous session certificate are also rolled out, right? So do share. Okay guys, so I will share the code with you, so not an issue. Okay, so this is the second section, that is fourth section that we are having, and we are talking just about the left section, right? This is the left section of the fourth section, correct? Now we are going to talk about the fourth section, right one, right? So inside this, what we are going to have is, inside this we are have section 4, right, placeholder, correct? And inside this placeholder we are going to have this image. So you will get this image from here, from the resources section. And inside this section, the first image I'm going to keep it over here, right? So first image I'm going to keep it over here, and I'm going to give it a class of section 4 right image, right? And yeah, our work is done as of now, right? So in the part of HTML, our work is done. Now we just need to give it some styling, and most importantly, the JavaScript part, right? How exactly we are going to implement the JavaScript over here, correct? So we are going to see that. All right, guys. So I think now we just need to move to section 4, styling part. So let's see how much styling does it require to build it like the CRED app. Okay. So let's see. Currently, our application looks something like this, right? Not very good looking, but we are going to make it look good. Okay. So let's see what are the things we are going to build. All right, so let's start styling this, and let's see how exactly we are going to build this section 4. So inside section 4, if we go, so inside the section 4, first thing that we need to give it is like max width. So max width we are going to give it is 1040 pixel, right? Then we need to give it some margin or padding top. Padding top we want is of 60 pixel. Then we want some margin to be auto, so that it will automatically align in the center. Then we want display flex, and minimum height of this particular section we want is of 100 view height. Okay, so you will see that your application looks something like this. Your application looks something like this, correct? And if I open this inside, currently it is like looking like this, but we are going to make it like fading effect in just a while. So stay tuned. So don't worry, we are going to see that. Okay, so failed to load resource. So which resource is failed? So let me see that. I think that image that we have just included might have failed. So let me check it. Not found. Okay, okay. Okay, so there it should not be this semicolon. If you see, yeah, so you are getting this image, correct? So I think that is why it is giving you this. So you just need to remove this. I will remove this after the class, so you don't need this. So over here, if you zoom in, so there is like a semicolon over here, so that should not be there, but by mistaken it is there. So you should avoid this, correct? That's why you are not getting the image. So just keep it eye on that. Okay, so you will see that your image is coming and your content is also coming. We just need to give it some styling and this JavaScript part, and after that it is all done. Okay, so we have 1 hour and we have did completed our project like in a like very scalable way. Like it's done almost, but we just need to do that effect of shading, or that shadowing effect, that it is kind of fading with scroll, right? So we are going to add that. Okay, so let's see how we can add that. Okay, so first of all, let's give it some styling so that it will look good. So in section 4 we are given some styling, and now so let's give some styling to section 4 left one. Correct. So inside left one we are going to give it like a width of 50%, and we want to give it some display of flex, right? And flex direction to column, and justify content to center, right? So you will see that your item is coming in this particular order, right? Now we want to give like section 4 content. Correct. Now we just need to give the left content styling. Correct. So first of all, we want to give some padding of 0 and 50 pixel. Guys, we are going to get the certificate link by end of the class. So now by end of the session, you're going to get the certificate link. Okay, then you can fill that and you can get the certificate out of it. Okay. Also, guys, we are going to get the you're also going to get the source code as well. So after the class, you can check out that as well. All right. And if you are stuck in anywhere, feel free to reach out to me with any of the problem, any of the issues you are coming. Feel free to reach out. And if you have any kind of queries related to AccioJob, do check out their website. There you can connect with their people. They are very helpful. They will definitely solve your problem. Okay. Padding we have given. Then we want the height, and then we have minimum height of 100 view height, right? Then we want the display to be flex direction, flex direction to be column. Then we want the justify content to be center, and opacity to be like this. And you will see that you're getting this kind of effect. Like all of the items are differentiated, right? Are at a different place. And this is something that we want, right? And if you implement the same thing, you are also going to get the same results, right? Okay. Now guys, if you give if I give it a opacity to, initially I give the opacity to 0 first of all to all the content, so that it will be invisible kind of, right? I don't want to show them visibly, and all of the logic I'm going to put inside the JavaScript part. Okay, so in a while you are going to understand that what exactly does it mean. Okay, currently I have hidden them, so you see the magic. So after some time I will give the opacity. Okay, now what we want is we want to give styling to section 4 left, right? So first of all, the left heading have the font size of 70 pixel, then line height of 70 pixel as well. Then we want letter spacing of minus 3.15 pixel. Then we want white space of line. Then we want opacity of 0.9 and font weight. Guys, you might feel like you are very new to some of these properties. Probably like we are actually using a lot of familiar properties. Some of them are very new, so you can just search for them on Google. Definitely you will get a link of W3 School or MDN Doc. You can read about that over there. Still, if you're not been able to understand that, feel free to reach out to me. Okay, so all of these things are actually available on internet. So if you try to find them, definitely you are going to get the answers, right? But still, if you're stuck in anywhere, any kind of thing that you want to discuss, definitely feel free to reach out. Okay. Okay. So this is the heading that we are having. So you can see that your heading looks like this, kind of get bolder, correct? So it's coming like this, correct? Now what you want is, this is the heading that we are having. Now what we want is we want the font size. We need to style the section 4 left description. Correct. Turn the section 4 left description. Right. So let's see how exactly we can do. So currently we have given the styling to the heading. Now we are giving the styling to the description part, right? So let's see what are the styling that we need for the description part. Okay. So inside this place, we want to give the font size of 18 pixel for the description. Then we want the font weight of 500. Then we want spacing, letter spacing of 0 pixel. Then we want line height of 28 pixel. Then we want white space of 3 line. Then max width of 600 pixel. Then we want the margin top. We want the margin top of 52 pixel. So all of these things together will make this application look like this, and it's kind of like looking exactly, this left section is looking like this particular section, right? We are going to style this in a bit better way. How exactly it will come in the center, all of these things we are going to see in a while. Okay. All right, so this is pretty much about this description section, right? Let's style this section 4 right section. Correct. Section 4 right section we want to style. Right. So let's see how we can style the right section as well. So inside the right, first of all, we want the width of 50%. Right. So 50% width you are getting, and then you want the display to be flex, and flex direction to be column, right? And this is the flex direction column is done. Then we want the align item to be center, and position to be relative, right? Okay. If I see this inside this particular inspect element, I would see that all of these elements are in this particular format, right? This is that section, right one. This is the left section. This is the right section, and this is the section 4. If I go back to section 4, and if I have this margin to be auto, so you will see all your data is coming in the center. Correct. So yeah, so you will see all your data is coming in the center, and it is looking way much similar like this. Correct. We are going to make it more relatable, more similar like that particular CRED section, right? Like with step-by-step development. Correct. Okay. Also, guys, I'm going to share all of these things with you, all of the code with you, so that you can clearly see them, right? In the class, we are actually a little faster, but all of these things, you are going to get the code at GitHub. So I will put the code in the GitHub, and I will share from where you can get the access to all of those code. Great. And then you can see how much thing you have done similarly. And I have coded in a sequential order. So if you try pausing the video and seeing that in what order I have given the styling, you will get the same results. Okay. So you can try the same thing. And I've taken the classes in a similar way so that you can understand in a sequential order. Okay. So this is pretty much how you can follow the lecture. And by end of the lecture, you can get the link in the description below. I will share my GitHub by end of the session. Okay. So this is pretty much about this particular section that we have with us. Okay. So let me see. This is top to be 52 pixel. Okay. All right. So I think it looks good, right? It looks good. And now what we want is we need to give some styling to this placeholder, right? So this image is not looking like that of CRED image. So CRED image comes inside this kind of phone, correct? So we are going to see how you can get the image like this particular phone image. So we are going to see that. Okay. So we are going to style this in a while, how you can get it. So inside section 4, right, there is something called as placeholder inside HTML, right? So we are going to style that. So we want the max width of max width of 322 pixel, and we want a height max height of 480 pixel. Guys, by end of the class you will get the form. Okay, then we want the position to be sticky, and we want the box shadow. Right, we want box shadow of RGB, right, RGB of 250, 250 hyphen 60%. Correct. This is one thing. Then we have 0 pixel, minus 5 pixel. Then we have 6 pixel, and then 0 pixel. Correct. Inside. Correct. Yes. Guys, you will get the link by end of the class. Okay. The inside that you are having. Then there is more styling that you want for this is that RGB. You want 38, 37 hyphen 24%. Correct. And you want this for 4 pixel, 6 pixel, 11 pixel, 1 pixel inside. With this, you will see that you are also going to get the same kind of placeholder, but currently your image is actually hiding that, right? So your placeholder is there, but it is hidden behind this image, right? So we are going to see how exactly you are going to get the image as well in the right manner, correct? So this is where you have given the styling to this. So box shadow, yes. Okay. All right. So you will see that your image is coming over here, correct? Like this. So you got that phone image look like this. We just need to give it some border radius and all of these things. Then it will look like a phone exactly. Then we give it like border radius and border radius of 46 pixel. Right? You will see that it will look something like that, similar like a CRED phone, right? That's what we are having. Now we just need to give it some padding, and padding of 16 pixel, 14 pixel. Correct. We will place the image inside this as well, so no issue. We are going to place that. Okay. Now what we are going to have is inside this placeholder, we are going to style this image. So we are going to have this width height of 100%. Then we are going to have the border radius. So we want after that we want object fit. We want the object fit to be cover and border radius to be 46 pixel. So you will see that your image is coming in the center of this phone, correct? And it looks exactly like this particular phone, correct? Right. So you will see that your image is coming like this, right? All right. So you will see your phone is coming over here, correct? So yeah. So this thing is done, and you will see you are getting these kind of options over here and the left hand side, but currently you are not getting that kind of effect, right? So we are going to work on that particular effect right now. Okay, that how exactly create that kind of effect, correct? That your image is sticky over here and all of these things we are going to see. Okay, so for this purpose we have given it a position to be sticky, then right. Okay, this is flex. All of these things are looking good. We just need to check inside the F12, like is it getting all the CSS or not. Okay, so we are going to get this particular thing, the position to be relative, and align item to be center. All of these things we are having the same way that we wanted, so it looks good actually. Right is 50%, flex is this is flex, this is column, this is center, align item center, and this is relative, right? This is relative, this looks good. Then we have the max width, max height, then sticky, so it should be sticky position, position to be sticky, then border box shadow, then we have border radius, then we have all of these things, correct? It looks good. It looks better now. Let me check what are the errors we are getting. So are we getting any errors? Okay, so we are not getting any errors. That means it looks fine. We just need to give it some sort of styling, right? So if I refresh this, okay. All right. So this is width. Height we also want. So we want the height as well. Height of 100%. 100%. Okay. All right. So I think it looks good now. Class is right. Division is correct. Let me check. Are we having all these things in a correct way? Section right to be image. Okay, looks good. All right. So we are our section is kind of ready, right? And if you see inside this application, so you will see it is getting this kind of effect of stickiness, right? So we are going to see like how we can get this kind of stickiness effect, right? So this is this place. If we remove this, you will see it is kind of stick right now, right? But we are having this thing with the relative center height to with this, then this thing is also here, right? Minimum width, margin, auto, all of these things are same, but we want this kind of a sticky effect, right? That is kind of missing in our application, so we will add that. Okay. Also we want this kind of scroll effect. So we are having this thing, uh, uh, width, height, cover like this. Then we have something like 180. So then we have this placeholder, max height, sticky. Yes, we are also going to learn JavaScript as well. Yeah. So this is pretty much looks good. Placeholder is good, right? Placeholder. Align item center. Align item center is there. Flex direction column. And this is also flex. This is width is 50%. Right is there. I think rest of the things looks good. Okay, let's keep it like this only, and let's start building this particular thing. It is not working like a sticky one, but we will handle that. How exactly we can make it sticky, correct? Let me check as of now why it is not working like sticky. Okay, so this is sticky. Border radius, it is have all the things that we need, right? But it should be working like sticky. Do it parent have relative position? Yes, its parent have this relative position. Okay. Okay, no issue. We will look into this. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's start jump into the JavaScript section, that how we can add the JavaScript for this particular application, correct? So let's see how we can add the JavaScript to this application. Okay. All right. So come back over here, and over here we need to give it some JavaScript. So let's see how much JavaScript do we want. It's just few lines, like few lines that we need, and after that it will looks very good, right? So first of all, let's start with the section 4, right? So inside JavaScript, first thing that we want is section 4, correct? So we are going to have this section 4 like this. It's section 4 like this, right? This is the section 4 that we have just added. After that, this is how we can get the element, query selector element like this. Section 4 we are getting, right? Then we want the cons to be section 4 left 1, right? Okay, guys, you are having your form in the links, so you can check out by how to get the certificates when you got done with the particular lecture, right? So do check that out. Okay. So this is document. So we want the document left one like this. Right? So basically what we are doing is we are getting all of these sections, section 4 left 1, left 2, left 3 like this. Then we want the const section 4 right image, correct, image like this, correct. So we want this image. Okay, so all of these variables, I'm going to get all of these elements inside my JavaScript. So it's a very new concept. You might have not seen this previously. But first of all, what we are doing is we are getting all of these elements in our application through document or the query select, correct? And we do learn all of these things from scratch in our classes. So you can check out that as well. Now inside this, I'm going to have the section 4 right image 1, right? So I'm going to take all of these images from there. So this section 4 have this image, so I'm going to get this image from there like this, correct. Then the image 2, image 3, image 4. So we want these all those 4 images, correct. So I'm getting all of these images inside my JavaScript, correct. Now guys, you might have find it like it's very new. We are actually looking for scroll event listener. So basically what is happening inside credits, basically they're listening for your events. Like if you're scrolling, it is listening for that. And whenever your scroll comes to this, right, it is actually showing this. So actually all of this effect is actually working on scroll effect, right? If you are not aware of the scroll effect, if you are very new, you can learn about that in MDN docs. It is very well explained there what exactly scroll effect is, how exactly you can make an application which have this kind of scroll effect. There is like very well explained there, right? So do check out. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, I'm going to add an event listener on window event listener. And which type of event listener we want is scroll, correct. Inside this, I'm going to have a callback function as well, right? Also, you can use the same code for your JavaScript. If you are very new to JavaScript, if you know how exactly the code looks, you can use your own JavaScript. But I'm going to share how exactly you can make that kind of effect. Okay. All right. So basically, what I'm going to do over here is, first of all, I'm going to have this uh, scroll position. So I'm going to get the scroll position from window.scrollY. Then we are going to have this section 4 of offset, right? Offset top. So section 4 offset top. Basically, this will give me the height of the section 4, right? So I'm kind of using the JavaScript to implement this feature. So it might feels very new and might need a lot of explanation. So you can directly use it as of now. But if you want to get the detailed explanation of how exactly these JavaScript works, we actually make a lot of projects at AccioJob in these kind of technologies. So you can check out that as well. So here I want to use section 4 height. So this is with the help of client height, correct. Here I'm putting this that if section position section with the scroll position is greater than section 4 offset, right? And the scroll position is less than section 4 height plus section 4 offset, right? You can try to understand that what exactly we are doing, right? So you can try to understand what exactly I'm writing. So I'm writing it like a little fast so that I can complete this within given time, and you can take away the whole code, right? That's what I'm trying to do. But if you want to learn this in a detailed manner, so do stop this lecture and read about all of these things. What exactly scroll Y gives you, what exactly offset gives you, what exactly client gives you. So all of these things. Okay. So in coming days, we are going to get your certificates. So not an issue. Okay. Okay, so you can leave it like 25, like if you're from 25 years, 25 batch, so you can keep it like you can use something else as well, or just as of sake of filling, just fill it. So max height is actually used to give a max height, like beyond that its width or height is not going to extend. So if you're sure that you want a height of this particular width, that's where you use max width, right? um so Koina, so you can use actually any of the year. Just give any random year that is the most possible, like 23, 24, and that possible year. We will consider that. Okay. So inside this, we are going to check that if scroll position is greater than section 4 of set top plus and scroll position is less than section 4 offset top plus 300, right? If this is the condition, then what you have to do, you have to give the section 4. So here I'll give some of the styling. So here what I want is section 4 left 1 dot style, right? Dot opacity to be 1 and section 4 left 1. So you will try to understand this like over time, like how exactly it is working. So you can pause in between and look into it how exactly it is working, right? If you give all of these styling, all of this script in the exact way, the terms that I'm using, you will get the same results. And if you don't know any of these things, you can read more about that in MD and Doctor W3 school. That's the best resource that you can learn from. Now what we want is we want to give the styling and transition of, I want to give it a transition of uh, opacity 1 second ease in out. Okay. Now I want to check else if the scroll position is greater than section 4 of offset top plus inner height and scroll position is less than section 4 of offset top plus inner height, right? Inner height plus 300, right? If this is the case, then what you have to do, section 2 opacity and ease in ease out, right? Else if you know that you need to check this height to be twice and this need to be twice, and this kind of circle goes and goes on. Okay, so this thing is visible over here, and you can use this same thing, and I will share the code with you, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay, so yeah. If all of these things are valid, else you have to put the opacity to be 0, correct? So this is the styling that we have just added, and now we just need to add for this particular thing. So first of all, we are checking scroll position. If the scroll position is greater than section 4 of offset top, and if the scroll position is less than section 4 section 4 offset top plus inner height. Correct. If this is the case, then what do we need to do? We need to give section 4 right src image to be this particular image. Correct. And we also want to give section 4 right image dot style dot transition to be opacity 1 second ease in out. Okay. Now we are checking for else if. Now we are checking that is it getting this much of height, and we are also checking for the height as well. So height into height 2, right? Then again else if. I'm quickly writing the JavaScript for you so that you can directly refer to the code, right? There you will find a lot of new things. So do feel free to learn all of these things, right? Else put the image one. So with this, this particular JavaScript section is also done. Here you probably need to learn few things if you are very new to this particular lecture. The first thing is that what exactly the scroll by do, then is the offset, what exactly this do, and what is the client height. Client height is the screen height, right? So if you know these things, then you can easily understand the whole code. It probably feels very new, but if you try understanding, give it some time, you will definitely understand this code. And if you come over here, right, if you come over here and if you see, if I'm scrolling down, you will see that right, so you will see that your data is like your content is coming on the left hand side like this particular manner, right, that we wanted. Correct. So your data is coming like this way. Correct. But your that image is not coming, so we will try how exactly this is going to be fixed. Correct. So we will try that. Okay, so this section is also been done that we just saw. Now we will try to fix it, otherwise we will have some better things. So if I come over here, if I see how exactly we have given the styling over here. Okay, so you will see that over here, this is the right section. So we will put this on the right hand side, and you will see like here it got sticky, right? So let's see how exactly we have given it over here, right? This is the right section that we're having that have width, display, all of these things like that. Okay. Inside this we have another one, this particular section that have this max width, max height, position to be sticky, and this have the relative position. Correct. Similar thing we are having over here. So I just want to identify what are those things that is different over here. Correct. Okay, so I think I found out what is the uh, issue over here. If you see that this section is this particular thing, I'm using the same CSS over here. So if I take this from there and if I try to implement this over here, okay, so it feels looks good. And if I take this particular thing and give the same styling to this particular element, then we'll see. Okay, so what is the mistake that I'm doing, or maybe some sort of thing that might be missing over there? I'm just checking it. Okay. I think I'm missing this particular top, right? So I need to give it top as well. Okay, I found out the what was the problem over there. So let me check that. When we go back to our this position, we have to give this top as well, right? So if I give it a top of 180 pixels, so you will see that now your application is exactly working the same way. Right? If you go at the top and if you start scrolling down, so you will see that your images are starting changing, right? In that particular manner, you will see you're getting that kind of effect, right? So now we have achieved that kind of effect, and the only thing that was missing is this top value, and we got that value over here. Correct. right? You can see that this is the first image, then this second image appears, then this third image, and then this fourth image, correct? You will see your whole image is actually implemented and this feature is actually being done, right? This is the most complex feature that this particular application have, and not just complex, it is one of the most commonly used features nowadays. So it's in the design trend nowadays, and CRED is very well versely using it. So with the help of this particular effect, we can get this right. And here you will find out like this is the JavaScript that we have added, and you probably find it very new, might feel it like it's a little complex, but if you give some time to this particular place, definitely you're going to learn a lot. Here we have did a lot of new things that you probably don't find it at a normal place, because not every website have all of these kind of features. So but we at AccioJob come up with this kind of solution that we should take that kind of feature as well, right? Previously we are just building the front end pages that are very simple, but with this particular script, JavaScript, we have added that kind of feature as well, right? Also, we are going to get the data as well, so don't worry. So I will share the whole code with you. So, but yeah, please try to understand that. Without understanding, please don't implement that. If you are stuck anywhere, feel free to reach out to me. I will explain you every single thing, right? But yeah, this is one of the most important feature of this particular application. Okay. Yeah, guys, absolutely. You can share this on LinkedIn, GitHub, and Resume as well. Definitely, it will definitely going to shine a lot, because everyone is kind of building the similar application, simple applications. Everyone is building, but if you build something little complex, something more interesting, this is CRED website is one of those applications that definitely shine out in your resume. So don't feel like it's just a normal website. It's not just a normal website. If you understand this whole application, how exactly the script is working, definitely your resume and your interview is going to be at another scale. So guys, over here we have taken the session in a little bit more fast forward way. So don't feel like we haven't like seen a lot of things in detail, because that's a boot camp. But one thing I could recommend you personally is that all the things that we are using today are, I I think these are the best industry standard things that we are using over the time that I have learned, and the best things that you can do in terms of naming, in terms of structuring your code, in terms of writing CSS. All of these things I have tried to come up with the best solution that you can learn. So try understanding what exactly we have used, why we have used it, right? Making a project from a YouTube tutorial is very simple, but understanding that from in and out is what makes you a real engineer. So if you have very simple one single property value, even if you're not been able to understand, try to decode that. If you understand every single word that you have written, that's where you actually become the real understanding. You get the real understanding of your project. So if you learn in that particular way, believe me, if you're learning from anywhere, you're going to learn the best, right? Right. So this is something that I just wanted to share with you, and this is one of the best website I probably uh, till the date I come up with. I'm trying always to come up with better and better solutions. So stay tuned. Okay, stay tuned with AccioJob. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe to the channel, and if you learn something new, do hit that like button. Also, guys, we need to complete one or two more sections. So the lecture is not end. We have to add this kind of section at the bottom as well. So we are going to add that, and then we will put the code on GitHub, and I will share how to host it. Okay, so let's quickly do that. Okay, so this section is the section 5. So we are going to add the section 5. So let's see how we can add the section 5. So the section 5 is going to be very simple. It is just the image. So here we are just going to add the section 5. Section 5. We are having this section 5, right? And section 5 is very simple, right? You just need to give it just a background image. The rest of the things are same, correct? So to get the section 5 in the picture, what you have to do, you have to write section 5, and then you have to give some section 5, correct? So to get this image, if you go inside this resources panel, you will see the section 5 have this amazing resources. So you can use that. So background image you're going to use background. which you're going to use URL and this, and you're going to give it a minimum height of 500 pixel, and background attach to be fixed. And guys, we generally make like these kind of projects in our classes. So if you're interested in learning, if you're very new to the tech, and if you want to get started your tech journey in a right way with the right mentors, I think we have like really amazing people here, so you can definitely check out them. So background repeat to be no repeat, and background cover to be cover, correct? So if you come back to your application, so you will see that at the bottom you're getting this kind of effect, right? And this kind of effect is a very special effect that is generally called as parallax effect, right? So you can have a look over here, like this kind of parallax effect is generally a lot of website supports. So currently it's like a modern kind of effect, so you can check out, right? So we have added this kind of thing. So because of this background attach fix, we are getting this kind of effect, right? So you can check out. Okay, the last section that we want is our footer section, right? So let's see how we can add the footer section as well. So if you go inside this, if we add something like footer, here you just need to write footer is like this. Here you will write made with a heart, uh, AccioJob. Okay, so this we have done over here, and your bottom is coming like this, right? Let's style the bottom as well. That is the last thing that we need to do. Okay, so let's add that. So footer, so first of all we want to give it padding. So first of all we want to give it like minimum height of 200 300 pixel, or 10 view height. Let's give it like 10 view height. Then we want to give it a display to be not just display, just give it text align center. That's it. So you will see it is coming like this. We just need to give it like display flex line item center. Okay, and justify content center. And now we don't need this text line. Okay. Okay, so you can see that your footer is also ready now, right? And yes, all your sections are, and this effect is also been ready, right? Now let's quickly host this project on GitHub, right? So inside GitHub, I open my GitHub. Also guys, you will get all of the code resources at this place, github.com/Umra Sharma. So I'm going to put all the code over here. So you can definitely check out my profile inside repositories. You will get the code of this CRED clone. Already it is there, right? So you can check out that as well. And to stay in touch, you can follow me as well. So this is pretty much about this particular thing. Now we just need to go inside this AccioJob clone, CRED clone, correct? So basically I need to put this on GitHub. So it's very simple. There are few steps only. So first of all, I need to have the GitHub in my local machine. First of all, I need to git initialize. Then I need to git add dot so that it will put into the staging section. Then I want to give it like a commit of like first commit, correct? Yeah, so all of the things are committed. Now I just need to get these 3 lines that will push my code to my GitHub. So in just few seconds my code is on GitHub, and you will see if I refresh over here, you will see the code is over here, right? So you can refer to this code, right? You probably have the CRED clone. I probably delete this, but yeah, in just few seconds how to push the code on GitHub I just showed you. And if you go inside pages, and over here if you search on this main branch and save it, your code is actually published in just 3 or 4 minutes. Your code is going to be live, and you get the link of this particular application. So like this way, as I showed you, this is my website, omrajsharma.github.io. After that, CRED clone. So my code is live. So you can put your code on resume, LinkedIn, Twitter. So do share that what you have learned today. And I haven't seen any kind of lecture around CRED clone. Like I haven't seen like any of the lecture is around CRED clone, because it's a little complex. Again, it's most interesting as well. So you can check out this whole thing. Also, guys, if you get your certificate, if you get your project done, do share that on LinkedIn, tagging me, AccioJob. And if you're interested in learning with us, do check out AccioJob website. Do connect with us. Definitely, we are going to help you in all the possible ways. Okay. So this is pretty much about this. If I refresh over here, you will see your link is live. And if I open this, you will see that umbrasharma.github.io/AccioJob CRED clone is there, and it is live. You will see it is getting the same feature of that CRED, that effect that we just made, that scroll effect. You're just understanding the scroll, and according to that you are changing the images and the content, right? And you're also getting this parallax effect. So this website contains a lot of things that are very much interesting nowadays, very trendy nowadays. So if you add these kind of things inside your application, inside your resume, LinkedIn, anywhere, you're going to shine a lot. That's my personal recommendation that I would give you. So also do share your LinkedIn on this project on your LinkedIn. Definitely, I think probably a few recruiters definitely going to reach out to you. Okay, so do share, guys. Do you have any question to ask? Let me know. I will try to answer all your questions in just few minutes. And if everything is good, we are all good, then we can wrap up for today. We'll connect definitely in the upcoming lectures. But yeah, that is pretty much for today's lecture, guys. And yeah, I think thank you so much for participating. So yeah, that is pretty much from my side. This is pretty much for today. Thank you guys for joining in. Please take care. Have a happy weekend. If you have any question, please let me know, guys. Guys, if you want to access the if you want to access the code, do check out my GitHub. You will definitely find my code over there. Okay, there you will find the whole code. Okay. What I didn't get like how to share the app. So you can check that on omrasharma.github.io/CRED clone. You can get it from there. So I guess thank you so much for joining in. And if you have any question, please let me know in the chat. I would love to answer all your questions. We have like a couple of minutes, so let's utilize that. And we just completed this in 2 hours, right? That's where and if you are watching this lecture after the class, so watch this in like 1.5x speed. Job offers in web development are like super amazing. Like I think web development offers the most job offers out there. So you can consider learning web development. A lot of people have different opinions, but as far my understanding, I've been into the same field from like couple of years, so I know how many opportunities are there. So you can consider working with web development. We have a like full stack development course as well here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the greetings, guys. Thank you so much for all your love. We are trying to come up with all of these kind of solutions and these kind of projects in like week in days, week out. So we are so much happy to have you all, right? And if you're interested in learning with us, so do check out AccioJob. We actually learn. We definitely make these kind of projects a lot of times. There are a lot of great mentors out there, and people like I've seen students making great projects at this place. So that's the best part. You actually learn a lot from your peers as well. I will share the app link in the description, guys. Okay, I will share the code link as well as the live link over there. Okay, and if you check out the CRED clone, if you check out this CRED clone repository, here I've mentioned the link as well, right? So you just need to go at this place. You will get this link as well, right? All of these links I have shared with you. Also, guys, feel free to give it a star for this application if you want to add some of the enhancements. If you are interested in contributing to this project, you want to add more sections, do consider giving your contribution in this project. Okay. So yeah, guys, thank you for joining in. And if all the questions are done, I would be more than happy to have all of these kind of sessions further. Okay. Absolutely, guys. Now there is no issue with any non-IT student, so it's pretty okay. If you're coming from any background, doesn't require that you have to be a technical degree. Not required. If you have that eagerness to learn, if you are interested in learning about computers, if you're interested in learning about the applications, how exactly softwares are made, if you are interested in these kind of working coding things, these things, if you're interested, definitely there is nothing that is going to stop you. Yes, I can share my LinkedIn. You can search me on by my name uh, on LinkedIn. Search me as Omraj Sharma. Definitely, you will find me on LinkedIn, and I would love to connect with you all. Guys, any questions that you want to ask? Feel free to ask any kind of questions, queries you are having. I would love to answer all your questions. Then we are going to close up for today. I'm mostly into the whole like full stack development. So I know the front end and back end as well. So I think, guys, thank you. I think this is pretty much for today's session, and I think I have answered all the questions. So thank you so much for joining in, and have a happy weekend. Do all of these things by completing this whole project. Fill out the form for certificate, and when you got the certificate, do share your certificate and your live project on LinkedIn and put that on your resume, right? So that your skills can be demonstrated, right? So do these things and share that on LinkedIn, Twitter platform, and do connect with me on these platforms. Also, don't forget to mention AccioJob and me on wherever you are sharing that. Okay. So that is pretty much from my side. If you have anything to ask, you can quickly ask. Otherwise, we are going to wrap up for today. Absolutely, guys. There is no restriction. Like there are people at AccioJob who are getting really good placements, like of 12 LPA, 10 LPAs. They're coming from like BCom background, like they are coming from like humanities background, not even from science background or not even from technical background, right? They're actually getting like great job opportunities at here. So you can check out like other experiences, other people who are getting placed at AccioJob in the description or maybe in the YouTube channel. We have shared a lot of experiences of people who are getting placed like big tech companies. Definitely check them out. You'll understand like people are from different backgrounds are getting placed. Not really. CGPA doesn't that much matter a lot, but if you have that good CGPA, that's good, but not that much required because your technical skills are actually interviewed. So if you are having like that kind of CGPA, if you are good in skills, that's where you get your opportunity. Okay. All right, guys. I think that is pretty much for today, and I would love to connect come up with another new project which have like this kind of complexity and a new kind of challenge that you're having that you can showcase in your resume. Okay, so we are coming up with these kind of lectures. So stay tuned, stay subscribed to our channel, and stay connected. Okay, thank you so much everyone for joining in, and this is pretty much for my side. Thank you so much for joining in, and have a happy weekend. This is Omra Sharma, and now signing off. Thank you guys for joining. Bye bye.